Hey everybody, I'm Will.
And I'm Sam, and we are
Working Title! We're back, baby.
We're back.
It's Bad Batch, episode 3.
Oh, Rucka!
Replacements.
Uh-oh. Clones are getting replaced by stormtroopers.
Last episode, we saw the gang and our new friend, Omega, meet up with the deserter clone to get him off the planet, and also learned about where Rex might be.
Yes.
Or, well, rather that Rex was there and where he's going, so...
But guys, if you enjoy the Bad Batch, make sure you like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you leave a comment about what you thought of this particular episode and what you think is going to be happening for the remainder of this show, and where you think we might be going, who do you think we might be seeing, and check out our Patreon. If you want to support us financially, go over there and you can choose any of the tiers that you seem to like the most, and then come back and watch our stuff.
And guys, this is not a market substitute. If you have not watched The Bad Batch, go on Disney Plus, come back to YouTube and watch our reaction, baby. We're gonna punch it. Bow!
Omega. I love you, Omega. And I love your accent.
Kiwi.
Kiwi.
Little Kiwi girl.
Kiwi girl.
Girl.
She's adorable.
Does she die at the end of the series?
I really don't want her to. I think out of everybody, I want her to live the longest. I think it'd be really cool if she could be like in the Ahsoka show, personally. We need some more female characters in Star Wars.
True.
Ones that like have a cool back history.
Not that they're just a clone of... A daughter of a clone, actually.
Was Rey a daughter of a clone?
Yeah.
Is that how it was?
Yeah. It was Palpatine's son that didn't have Force abilities.
Right.
And then he got married to some woman they hid from... They were trying to hide her from Palpatine or whatever.
Gonk.
Gonk droid.
That doesn't look comfortable for either of you.
We're fine.
Yeah, that gonk droid's not happy.
Hit me again. Well, that's all for now. Rations are low.
You can have mine.
Hey, Omega doesn't even have a place to sleep. You want to take our food too? No, thanks.
Wrecker is so...
Okay.
He's so big.
He's just so, like, silly.
Yeah, I guess I'm not used to having a kid around here. Well, none of us are. But she's not complaining.
Besides, the shipwide diagnostic report indicated no critical systems were compromised.
Likely story?
Yeah. Alright, typical Clone Wars thing, crashing to a planet. Except it's not Anakin Skywalker this time.
I'd say that's pretty critical, Tech. Get ready for your first crash landing.
Yep.
I'll make it scrappy.
It's not Clone Wars or Star Wars without this.
He doesn't fit in the ride.
Hold on.
No.
Gonk!
I wish that thing... Oh my gosh. I wish the gonk droid moved fast enough to be like their droid they carry around, you know?
Yeah.
We're gonna die. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
Oh no. One dad and his 3 stooge uncles. Or 3 stooge brothers.
Inventory analysis indicates we have one spare on board.
Oh, is it in here?
That's Crosshair's weapon kit. Fine. I'll say it. I kind of miss him. He shot you, remember? I
Nice.
sure do. That hurt.
It's worth noting the possibility that Crosshair's actions were influenced by his inhibitor chip. It can do that?
That's what it was designed to do.
So,
Hey.
it wasn't Crosshair's fault.
No.
Well, you'll find that.
Surprised they haven't had that talk sooner. That would have been like the first thing I started asking. Assuming
Well,
they were really close to Crosshair.
Well, they didn't really figure out that the inhibitor chip, what it was exactly until last episode, I think.
Okay.
Or what it exactly was to us.
The data shows he's responding favorably to the procedure.
How wild that Tarkin's here through all this.
Yeah.
Governor Tarkin, Hope I'm not interrupting. Right on schedule, Rampart. I hear your chain code implementation has been most successful. Laying the foundation of our new empire is of the utmost importance.
Does his voice sound familiar?
Yeah, it does.
Our top recruits are here to begin their training under their new commander.
Project War Mantle, and that's their... Is he supposed to be the first Death Trooper or whatever?
Were they humans initially?
I don't know.
May I present our first elite squad.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Top
Whoa.
soldiers from across the galaxy. Imagine more squads like this being trained by skilled clones. Together, they would make a formidable army. I believe it will strengthen the future of this burgeoning empire.
Wow. I like how they look.
Yeah. They got sick armor. Oh boy.
Just your typical womp rat.
Oh, this is very, Empire.
Space
Strikes
slug.
Back, yeah.
I am well aware.
When they're on the asteroid.
It isn't a cave. Good news is no xenomorph can attack their mouths because they're all covered up, so
Yes.
I think we're okay for impregnating clones. Don't need to fear.
Yeah.
That should do it. Take.
Oh god.
Look at this.
Oh.
Well, those weren't there when we landed.
How would you not hear that? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, the screeching of the metal.
Oh no. What does that thing look like?
I thought it was a frog, but then it looked like a dog.
It kind of looks like a salamander.
With fur, maybe?
What's wrong with you?
I must have hit my head in a crash.
Imagine it makes this inhibitor ship work.
But other systems are now failing.
That would not be good.
Something's causing damage to the exterior hull.
What?
Dude, I cannot make out what the heck that thing is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like I'm blind.
Cradles with the pad.
The creature is most likely an Ordo moon dragon, a species that feeds on raw energy. It was probably drawn to the capacity.
So like Godzilla just
Yeah.
eats radiated material.
Forehead. Here, I'll go after the dragon and get our part back.
I'm fine.
You're staying.
I'll go with you.
No,
I'm scared. I think you might be right, Will. If his chip starts to go haywire, that's not good.
Yeah.
The war's over. Who's left for us to fight?
With the Empire, I get paid, I get fed, and I have a roof over my head. That's more than the Republic ever did for me.
Conscripted recruits will never reach the same level of military proficiency. Our clones have been trained since their creation.
Skills can be taught. The loyalty of those who willingly enlist is what I see tremendous value in.
Patriotism versus genetic engineering.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The episode is called Replacement. Let's do like a clone battalion versus soldier and see what happens.
Yeah.
I want to see if they do that.
It shall be done.
Yeah, he's sus. He's like, these guys aren't gonna use our skill set, use our people anymore.
I wonder what happens to the Kaminoans.
They might get whacked.
Killed off.
Yeah, they might get whacked.
Yeah.
So they don't produce an army to oppose
Exactly.
them.
I wonder how expensive it even is to like purchase an army. Is it like a profitable industry, or do you need emperor salary?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they said it like.
Wrecker and Tech, we each
I
have.
think in the first episode, Tarkin was saying it's too expensive for the Empire.
Yeah.
Or it would be too
Shouldn't be
expensive.
angry at him. He can't help it.
I'm angry at myself. We don't leave our own behind.
Then we'll find a way to get him back.
Oh,
Somehow.
sweet one. Sweet little one. Keep her close, Hunter.
Why would they put him in charge?
Problem.
If
If you all are so efficient, how come the Empire scouting soldiers like us?
It's because he's too good that he's too expensive.
We'll see how things shake out.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't ever think I'd be getting this kind of stuff in Star Wars. Like, actually seeing the process.
Yeah.
Like, completely detailed.
Oh no, we're back on Saw Guerrero's gang.
it.
Just received a transmission from Guerrera. He's standing by at the rendezvous.
Wait, sentry's been triggered in Sector 2A.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, this guy's gonna get clapped because Saw Guerrero's not here. Only he can survive to the next chapter.
True.
Get up, people on the shuttle! Now!
Y'all should have never stayed here after you met Crosshair and then
Yeah, I know.
bad planning.
Yeah, why would they have stayed after the Empire clearly found them? It was just,
Yeah.
that's a stupid.
See it? Wait here.
Bait? They want you?
The Mother Dragon. Oh, wow, okay.
It's getting away!
Oh gosh, he doesn't have his gas mask.
Oh gosh, I forgot you can't breathe on this plane. Oh, no, use her power. Okay.
Her power.
I'm
We don't even know if there's
I don't
power.
know if there is a power. I'm just still wondering if there's something special.
Come in! We need help!
Oh, that little shitbag.
This dragon, man. Yes, go
Go
get
save
some
him.
lizard for dinner.
Yeah.
Let's get some food.
Yeah, give Wrecker a nice meal. He'll be happy about that one.
Bad decision.
That's one of my favorite sounds, by the way, when they're scoping in and it's a bit like the opening, the menu for Battlefront 2, the original version. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Dude, don't tell me they burn him alive.
Where's Guerrera?
I don't know, but I wouldn't tell you if I did.
Yeah. Well, that's a cool shot,
I
man.
believe you. Do any of you have information you'd like to share?
We don't know anything. We were promised transport off-world. That's all.
Then you're of no use to the Empire.
What are you doing? Guerrera's fighters are dead. These are civilians. Forget our orders. This is wrong.
So you're not going to comply?
No,
He just shoots
none
him.
of us are. Ignore the clone. We signed up to be soldiers, not an execution squad.
Oh,
We're going to take the
interesting.
prisoners and take them in for questioning.
You want to know why they put me in charge? It's because I'm willing to do what needs to be done.
Gosh.
Put him down? Yeah.
No way. Woo! Was that the blondie?
Yeah.
Dang.
Soldiers,
Follow orders.
order.
Oh, wow.
Finish the mission.
He's gonna watch him massacre. Oh my gosh, Crosshair. Wow.
That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just kind of, but very.
Not only did he not murder them, he forced others to. It's wild. Man, this dragon is a thief!
Yeah, it's been like living off of mad crash ships.
What the fuck?
Look at that.
Oh, I guess they did say it takes the ship cores or whatever.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought it was just like luggage and backpacks. It's like, what the heck?
Shoot it in the face. Well, that thing's kind of cool, actually.
Communicate with it.
Wake up.
There has to be something. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the day where it's like some special something. Does she talk to snakes like Rey?
When does Rey talk to snakes?
Remember that giant snake in Rise of Skywalker? Underneath the sand? It's like such a weird scene, and yet everybody seems to forget it.
She talks to it?
No, she heals it. But she's like parcel tongue friends with it.
Friendly? Friendly.
Reminds me of the kind of like how the wolves behave in Rebels.
Yeah.
Aggressive to a fault.
Oh, it's kind of dumb. Yeah. Yeah, give it to him. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little stupid. I like it. It's like absorbing the electricity or whatever. It was a little stupid guy. Yeah. Follow this. Go over this way.
What were you thinking going down there?
The mission was to retrieve the capacitor, wasn't it? I tracked the dragon, like you did.
Dragon.
Is that like
The dragon. Good job, kid.
Good job, kid. So, shot your guy. Sorry about that. He's kind of dead.
The original genetic material from Django Fett continues to degrade.
Then it is time to begin the next phase. If your experiment can yield a superior clone,
Omega?
it will.
Such a contingency cannot be created without a direct source. The clones required will not return willingly.
They are Kaminoan property, and we only need one. Our survival hinges on it.
Wait, what if, so maybe the Bad Batch are like almost exact replicas of the DNA, but just with enhancements? So if you go back to one of them, it's like starting at scratch with the clones?
Maybe, yeah.
That would be very interesting. I mean, it could also explain, like, apart from their ability, why they're so good at fighting compared to clones who I mean, just like stormtroopers die all the time.
Yeah. I don't know, it's... Oh, yeah, they need one, and he's property of the Empire at this point.
Tech, get us out of here.
Oh, I don't know if that works, though, because they already have Crosshair, right?
Well, no, that Crosshair is like with the Empire. The Kaminoans are gonna try and
get their own guy, one of their own Bad Batch.
That was what I was confused with at first.
Systems are up and running. And where have you been?
Hey, kid, come with me. Cover your eyes.
I'm a little afraid about this.
Why?
I don't know why. His head was hurting earlier. I was afraid that he was gonna do something bad.
Snap her neck.
Was he gonna give her a bed?
Okay. Open it.
Did he make her a bed?
Check it out.
Oh yeah, a little compartment to sleep in? Like Baby Yoda? Yeah? Aww.
Aw, she got her own room. He put lights in too. That's so sweet, man.
Well, what do you think? I thought this place could feel more like a hub.
It's perfect. Thank you, Rika.
It was nothing.
Rucker's so cute.
Yeah, he's so nice, man.
I never had my own room before.
Well, you're part of this squad now, too.
Oh.
This is such a sentimental show. They're really gonna juice this out and then kill them all, and I'm gonna be so pissed off.
Yeah, we're gonna really have all the connections at that point. Oy vey.
Dude, Filoni!
I kind of want to look up Admiral Rampart to see who it is.
Yeah, I feel like he's probably somebody from the movies. I'm gonna blow my nose real quick.
You're good.
If you haven't subscribed at this point, do it.
Oh, I didn't even get up and look at it. My bad. Mine is on.
No, I thought he might be the old dude, Maester.
Maester Aemon?
No, the guy from King's Landing who's in Star Wars. What's the Maester from King's Landing? I thought it was one of Darth Vader's guys. Who's the perv from King's Landing? The guy who's hangs out with all the young women.
Why am I forgetting his name?
And
Who's he in Star Wars?
He's the guy who attacks Hoth. He's the guy in the AT-AT who attacks Hoth.
Oh my! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak out right there. I didn't realize that's the same actor.
Yeah, he was young in that, a lot younger.
Oh my god, you're right.
Behind the scenes, Black Series. He already has a toy in the lineup. No, I think he's a completely new character from the looks of it. But yeah, I mean, he had the very Imperial, almost European British kind of slang to his talk.
Yeah.
So I thought he might be somebody that we had seen from one of the movies.
He did sound like Callus in the beginning.
He sounded a lot like Callus.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, wait. I'm pretty sure Callus was still relatively young during Rebels.
Yeah.
I don't think it could have been him. I mean, I guess I could have bought it because, like, what, 15 years after Rebels is when that show takes place? I don't remember. Yeah, but we got the intro to the implementation of humans as stormtroopers. I guess they're still called... I guess they're not called clones at this part. They're just hired guys, hired soldiers.
Yeah. I guess they haven't been given official names as stormtroopers yet.
That would be kind of cool. Not that I really need the origin of the stormtrooper name, but like just I like seeing this entire new transfer of power.
Yeah. I think it's cool. And one thing I think that Star Wars has always done well, other fantasy worlds have done it, but it's like, it's something as simple as like, they brought up the Clone Wars once in the original movie, and then it became 3 movies, a whole TV series, and basically like more than half of what is considered like Star Wars. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, you know, the Kessel Run. It was a random thing that was brought up, and then they basically made a whole movie out of it. So it would be cool if they gave like just more like of an origin story to the Stormtrooper name and what came about. But so that makes sense too. Is now like they're not completely like axing the clones, like they're keeping them around for like training purposes. It seems now, and like maybe some squad commanding positions.
It's a very interesting thing. Like once they introduce the Dark Trooper characters, like all the human guys coming to Kamino, like I just had a really like kind of refreshed feel in my head. I was like, wow, this is like the first time we are seeing Star Wars that doesn't have a technical script that it has to stay inside. Yeah, that makes sense. Like when you have Solo, the movie, like we know Solo can only do so many things and know certain things because we will know that he learns other truths in the main trilogy. Like he can only know so much. He can't know about the Force or believe the Force up until A New Hope or what Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. Phantom Menace to Revenge of the Sith, like we know Anakin has to turn to the dark side before the original trilogy. And even with the Clone Wars, you have, like, Ahsoka introduced, and at some point you know she has to be, like, not part of the picture, so you have that coming for you. Where this, it's like, knowing that we have more Star Wars in the future, and knowing that this is almost disassociated with any of the main characters entirely, it's really, like, an exciting own beast in and of itself. Like, we can really go do whatever we want. And just like the fact that Tarkin's present during this too, it's like, wow, like there are a lot of characters that never got a lot of screen time outside of expanded lore prior to Disney, that now we can really like do whatever we want. Like if Tarkin wants to be a main character of this, like we can make him that. If Saw Gerrera was like his big antagonist in the early days of the Civil War, that can be a thing. Like who knows if Saw Gerrera and Tarkin ever see face to face of this little cell wars that are happening right now. And, like, just, like, the fact that our Bad Batch have already seen a lot of very important characters in the universe, and we get to follow them now, and we don't know where their journey ends, if it even will have an end by the end of the show. Like, what web this series in and of itself will create. Yeah. Now, I guess it will kind of depend on how successful the show is, because maybe if it's not the greatest hit, Star Wars won't care to like touch back on the story. But if it's a big hit for like young kids or like adults who love Star Wars, I feel like there's a lot of cool potential to, and a lot of characters too that we can now take. Even if they make like the Dark Troopers characters that we end up really hating or like enjoying to hate,
just following along at least, you know.
Because right now I'm Crosshair is already up in the polls for like a character I would love to see as like a villain. Yeah. I guess purely for this show right now because I don't know. Like I don't think he could take on an Ahsoka in a different show, but just like I love these characters too.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice too, especially like Star Wars is so large that you can really do whatever you want because these guys could go run off and have their own storyline and it not affect Rebels and it not affect the original trilogy and it not affect the sequels. Like, they could literally just do whatever they want with them. Like, they could make a storyline of the Bad Batch, like, going out and fighting all the syndicates or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they could just, whatever you want to pick, they can make up. Or even of them just exploring to planets and areas that we've never seen, you know? So, it's great, you know? What can I say? I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's just always, the possibilities are endless. Although the only thing that the show has to connect to is clearly they're going to figure out the way to get the inhibitor chip out, which is going to lead to, like, Rex and them, you know, having that taken out and being ready for Rebels time when, you know, they help out. I mean, I guess it's not a major thing because there's only 3 clones that seem to have gotten the inhibitor chip taken out anyways.
You know, it's weird. This is really far-fetched, so stay with me, people. Ever since, like, the video games that have been coming out recently with Fallen Order, and even, like, how the Rise of Skywalker of the sequel movies ended, and now knowing we're going to have Ahsoka, and a lot of movies that... or a lot of Star Wars content that's going to be taking place after, maybe even Rise of the Skywalker, who knows? I just keep on trying to imagine the possibilities of setting up a new world of Star Wars that takes place somewhere else in the galaxy where there's a big incoming threat that we just were never aware of. I don't know why, but just, like, with, like, characters like...
Cal Kestis.
Like, we don't know where his story goes. We don't know where Ahsoka goes after Clone Wars up until we find her in Rebels. We don't know where she goes in between that and Mandalorian or where she goes after Mandalorian. We don't know where Rex is post-Rebels. We don't know where Maul is in between Clone Wars and Rebels. Like, there's all these, like, missing chunks. And, like, I feel like this falls into the Cal Kestis, the Maul, the Ahsoka, the Rex, and maybe, like, post... even, like, or, like, not maybe concurrent to the sequel timeline of where this whole section of, not B-list, but, like, secondary timeline characters are during an entire... I feel like it would be really cool if, like, there's a convergence of characters that are just not associated with the Skywalkers that can have their own, like, stories altogether.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I just think it would be an exciting prospect, and I think where that stems from is back during the announcement of all the Disney things... They were saying that at least 2 of the shows will probably be merging into, like, a big show. Like, it'll be, like, a... kind of like how Marvel did Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Defenders. And they were saying that, like, Mandalorian is going to be a show in and of itself. We have the Boba Fett show. Ahsoka's having her show. And they were saying there's a Starfighter show and something else. But when they were talking about the 2 other things, they were saying they're going to probably converge into one of the bigger shows. So... I'm just getting this, like, really cool feel of, like, because what does happen with Rise of Skywalker? Because, like, I'm not really satisfied that that's the end of the story. I feel like we can continue what happens to the timeline. And some of these characters might be able to, logistically speaking, survive to that age.
Yeah.
Like, I think Omega will be capable of living to that time period if we're talking about Rey Skywalker time period. And I know it's disassociated, and I'm sure people who watch the show aren't really thinking of sequels, but I'm just thinking of, like, the possibilities, and this show has just been sparking a lot of ideas for things, especially because I like these characters a lot. I know I keep saying that, but I feel like with having 16 episodes I'm gonna keep on feeling that. And it's already so soon, so I'm just curious.
What do you think about the whole Kaminoans, them talking about, like, the special experiment that the lady, I forget her name right now, but the lady Kaminoan was working on. They said, you know, they were saying, like, the original Jango Fett, his DNA is deteriorating, so like the original sample, so they're not going to be able to keep using it. And then they said, like, maybe the solution is getting these guys back and using their DNA. I wonder if it's because their DNA is so, not that it's, like, you're saying that it's so, like, messed up that it's... I don't remember exactly how you worded it, but...
Yeah, I said, like, because their mutation is so powerful, maybe they are able to get back a lot of the dead cells that they lost after cloning clones.
Yeah.
Like, I think they had Jango's and maybe Bobo's, and then they started mass producing it to the millions that they made. And then once Jango died and the cells wore off, they started taking the clones' DNA and then making more clones. And then after a while, the cells are just being more so lesser versions, watered down versions of Jango.
Well, I wonder if now, because these guys are such, like, more so that since they're such mutations, that they're almost new people. Like, they're almost not clones.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so it's like, because they're almost not clones, like, they're like, it's not like Wrecker's a clone of Jango, even though technically it is. Like, he's Wrecker, because he's got all the mutations. So maybe their plan is to, like, I don't know. It's just weird.
That's a good point, though.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure if, like, they're...
Well, because mutation implies that it's the... If we're talking X-Men terminology, it's the next step in mankind. It's the evolved version of what something used to be. So it's the phase 2 of what Jango Fett was. Yeah. It's something that Jango Fett never had the potential of being without genetically forcing something into him.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not sure if that means they're going to try and make... Like, it's the Kaminoans trying to make another super clone or something. Like, I don't know. I'm curious what their end game is for this, but
I think that might be the main plot now that I think of it.
Yeah.
It's like, why go with this show? Why go with this show as an option unless you had maybe a plan when you first created the concept of them back in Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Maybe there was like something that they felt they could really do as a story element to make it its own show.
Yeah. I also wonder, and I don't know why. I mean, I know why, just because Mando was doing it. I wonder how much, like, of this cloning process is going to lead to, like, the Palpatine attempts of cloning for Snoke and B for his, like, son or whatever.
There's so much cloning in this show.
Yeah.
Sorry, in Star Wars in general. I don't even know. I still am so confused when it comes to the Snoke Palpatine thing, and Mandalorian has not cleared it up yet. No one even really still talks to this day about the fact that may or may not be a Snoke-looking character in the jar. I think when we watched it, that's what we thought, but...
It definitely was.
But, like, I feel like no one else talked about it. Like, I rarely saw that.
I think people did. I think the problem, though, I think the biggest problem at the end of the day is that no one cares, because...
They didn't like the sequels.
Yeah, it's more so because, like, they made Snoke just a Palpatine body vessel, you know what I mean? So it's like... I think it's interesting.
It's like an empty mystery. It's like we already have seen
the end result.
So why does it matter now?
Yeah,
but I get that.
I enjoy it because it gives the opportunity for, like,
filling in the blank,
and, like, not to talk shit on anybody that's made those sequel movies, but, like, it gives Dave Filoni the chance to, like, make it good. You know what I mean? Like. I've been a Star Wars fan forever, and I've said this a bunch, maybe not on the channel, but, like, the Attack of the Clones to Revenge of the Sith, like, just looking at it objectively feels weird to me. Mm-hmm. But, like, with Clone Wars included, like, I personally always said that Anakin's fall in Revenge of the Sith seems so childish when it comes to just, like, you won't let me be on the council and a master. Yeah. To me, I always thought that was weird. But then, you know, when you grow up and you learn a little more, and you're not just, like, a dumb kid, but, you know, you put, like, his mom dying and the whole thing with Padme, plus I think the biggest things in Clone Wars that Clone Wars adds is the lying of Obi-Wan's death and the war itself and Ahsoka. Like, Ahsoka leaving, I think, is almost like the penultimate, like, that's where Anakin kind of checked out mentally from being a 100% good guy, you know? And of course, in the movie, the real driving force is Padme and his own ego. Like, Padme wanting to make sure she stays alive, and his own ego and pride of, I need to be a master, I need to be on the council, I'm the greatest Jedi.
And I need whatever power it takes to make sure this vision doesn't come true.
Yeah. So, I don't know, it just felt not as, like, fulfilling to me, but with Clone Wars, the show, it just makes it so much more impactful to me, like, his fall. And, like, I don't know, I feel like watching Revenge of the Sith even when I was, like, in high school versus watching all of Clone Wars and then watching Revenge of the Sith, to me it's, like, almost watching a completely different movie. Like, if you're a Star Wars fan, you haven't watched Clone Wars, you have to. There's no way. You can't.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that's the exciting part about all this stuff, is that maybe it can plug the holes into the sequels to make it feel, you know what I mean, more important, just because some people felt Force Awakens was a good movie, and then a lot of people are up and down on Last Jedi, and then I just feel like the general consensus was Rise of Skywalker was just, like, very unfulfilling for, like, the final chapter of the Skywalker story, so...
Yeah. Like, where I found the most excitement is, like, my own headcanon of where the movies or universe can go now past this.
Yeah.
But, personally, like, after playing KOTOR recently, or a couple months ago, it's like, I just want to go back to that. Just remove me so far away from all this, where we can just start fresh in a time period before any of this, where there's still tons of mystery.
Yeah. I'm so down for an Old Republic.
I am too.
Anything. Whatever.
I'm ready.
Just get Old Republic, get us into a realm that just we really haven't touched in the new Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even care if they just take the fucking game and just make it into, like, the movie. You know
we
what I
are
mean?
really going to have to do a Star Wars podcast at some time. Because anytime I think of Star Wars, I just go deep into it and I forget, like, back to Bad Batch stuff. I adore Omega a whole lot.
Amazing. I love that kid.
I'm still trying to figure out who I'd place as my favorite, but it's like I'm for the most part I like all the characters. Hunter's actually moved down and Omega's moved up, and I like Wrecker a whole lot. I just like the big idiot who's so sweethearted.
Yeah.
And I'm a little scared too. I have a feeling like we're kind of hinting at that maybe the inhibitor chip will crack or malfunction at some point, and they'll have to take on the big brute himself. It'll be a little sad if they like have to put him down, because I feel like he might be the strongest of the group. So
I feel like
to, like, physically put him down.
I feel like it's more likely they're gonna have to do that with Crosshair. Like, it seems like that's like the elephant in the room of, like, they don't want to touch that as of now.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to at some point. But
that's why I'm like saying, like, maybe they put down Wrecker, and then they're like, we have to find a way to save Crosshair because we can't do it how we just did it with Wrecker. Like, Wrecker's the first example of attempting to do it, and it goes horrible, and they have to kill him because he's a giant freaking cow of a man. And they're like, okay, this did not work. We have to try to save Crosshair and try to control this family of ours, and do it in the name of Wrecker. Like, that'd be upsetting, but I think that'd be a cool story thing. Like, as much as I love Wrecker, like, I feel like he's a very obvious choice to take out maybe in the show. Because I feel like people will connect a lot to his big heart, which will be all the worse to remove him from the group.
That's the only thing I think about after all these. I'm like, they're making us love these characters so much, and they're gonna rip it away.
Yeah.
Like a fucking, like, just ripping off a scab, reopening that bad wound that I didn't want to be there.
Talking about bad wounds, how about that pretty dark scene for an animated show, the murdering of the people,
innocent civilians.
I mean, we didn't necessarily see it, nor do we really ever do see those kind of things in Clone Wars, very vaguely so, but even still, just the idea. And I'm surprised that the, like, Shadow Troopers were like, or whatever you want to call them, were like, we're not going to kill them. What are you talking about? Like, I actually suspected they would have been the ones to be totally fine with that. So that was kind of a neat perspective to see, because I kind of just thought they were going to be cold-hearted when they showed up.
I mean, in fairness, it was just the one guy that was really speaking up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It felt a little, me personally, it felt a little weird that he was like that, but he was like all of them, when they first show up and they're all sitting there and he's like, why are we, like, we're not, one of them was like, we're not even at war anymore. Like, why are we doing, like, what's even the deal? And the one guy was like, I'm getting a paycheck and this is like that. This is the most that the Empire, most ever made. The Empire did more than the Republic has ever done for me already. So I would have figured that guy would have been gung-ho with just murdering people. Just because the way his attitude and how nonchalant he was like, I'm going to be commander. And then he actually had morals at the end, which was kind of sad.
Yeah.
So, and, Crosshair just put him down. Good soul just follow.
He's a robot. Yikes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much it. The episode was pretty quick. We got homage to Empire Strikes Back Slug Cave, kind of, sort of.
I mean, that was definitely just like Empire Strikes Back.
Do you think there was any little things we were supposed to pick up about the dog not harming her, or do you think it was just the dog or dragon thing, standard behavior? Like,
it was. I think it was just because it wanted power.
Just wanted power,
and it knew that, like, I don't know why I think the flashlight just because it was a break. I think it was just a fucking stupid. Like, it was just an animal. Like, use a laser pointer and point it near a cat, and it fucking goes insane.
I'm gonna try to refrain from now insinuating that Omega may have powers. I just don't know why. I just keep on feeling like there might be something.
You're not the only one, though. There's a lot of Star Wars fans that are saying that online.
She feels very special. I don't know.
I don't personally think that's the case, but I don't know. I don't know what her role is with this whole Kaminoan special experiment.
That's why I don't understand why. Also, why did Lamasu? I don't know which one. One of them let her go with them. So
yeah.
Got more episodes to figure that out.
Guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, comment down below, notification bell, all that good stuff. Check out our Patreon, the link's in the description. And if you're ready for more Bad Batch, stay tuned for next week when it comes out on Friday. We're going to punch it. Bow!